At this point, I think I've started off several videos on this channel talking about the scheduling and trying to get things like organized more so on this channel. But I mean, I've had a couple of hectic days here recently, and I still got some hectic days ahead, including today. I'm recording this like super early in the morning, so it's another hectic day coming up. So, yeah, I think I need to really just stop worrying so much about a schedule with this channel, and I mean, even my main channel. I do a certain video at the end of each week, but other than that, I'm pretty flexible there. So I just I feel like I need to kind of take some pressure off of myself, even though I really do enjoy YouTube. I do enjoy doing these videos and everything, but I just need to kind of keep it open and flexible, and especially with this channel because it's called FM Thinking Out Loud, so I don't really want to try to schedule my thoughts per se. So yeah, I mean, don't be surprised if you're one of the few people that follows this channel that if the content seems a little sporadic. I mean, I'm just going to kind of base it around how I'm feeling and what's on my mind pretty much, and I think that's truer to what the focus of this channel was meant to be from the beginning. But I will still try to do my real talk videos, relationship talk videos, and I'll try to bring back poetry as well. Truth be told, let me say this quickly about poetry. Right now, I'm just not completely feeling it. And I don't even want to get all deep into the reasons why. I may actually do something I said I was going to try to avoid, which is to share some of my older work. Because honestly, some of my older work has been on my mind a lot lately. There are a lot of pieces that I've done in the past that I just really love and I really like to share. So, instead of always focusing on something new, I think I might start doing that. I may share some older work, and I guess in some ways I don't want to do that because it almost feels lazy, but at the same time, I mean, I did the work, I put in the work. So, that's me maybe being a little too critical of myself, which is definitely one of my flaws. I mean, sometimes I definitely am too critical of myself. So, and I may put too much pressure on myself when it comes to writing. So, yeah, I do kind of need to ease up, for my own sake there. But anyway, since Valentine's Day just passed, this is just not an idea, but well, I guess you could call it idea for a video basically, but just something that came to my mind that I want to discuss, which is the one that got away, because I've had that experience multiple times, and I want to share a couple of stories with you. I'm not going to use anybody's name, obviously, out of respect. I won't share a name, but I do want to tell you a quick couple of stories here. And I mean, I'm saying this I'm going to share this all for a reason, which I'll get to at the end. But, let me go ahead and get into it, though. When I think about the one that got away, the first woman that comes to mind was actually a young lady at the time. This was when I was about to go into the military, and I was kind of getting to know this girl. And she just seemed, very sweet, very easy to talk to. I mean, cute as all can be. And even when I actually went into the Army, and I kind of had it in mind not to get attached to anybody before I went into the Army. I knew that would just make it tougher. And to an extent, it did. I mean, because I really was feeling her. And she did actually write me at least once or twice. And when I came home on leave, I saw her. Never anything really romantic. I mean, we were just cool, But for a while, it did kind of bug me. And I was like, man, I wonder if there could have been anything there. And then years later, we kind of caught up, and I think she had a child. I want to say I can't remember when exactly it was. Maybe not too long out of high school, she had a child with another guy. As a matter of fact, like she had a relationship going before I actually got out of the military. Which I mean, what could I say about it? Because I wasn't around, and we really didn't know each other on that level. So yeah, by the time I got out the military, I think she had a boyfriend. I think she had a baby as well. So yeah, like years later we caught up, and I learned about her more. I got beyond the idea of her and learned more about her as an actual person, and beyond just a little quick conversations. And I really realized there were some things about her that didn't click for me. For one thing, she was very, I'll say she's caught up in a lot of unnecessary drama and fights and just silliness, stuff that does not entertain me in the least. And I think a lot of people sometimes, if they've lived in a small town and that's all they've ever known, they've never branched out and gone anywhere else or anything, it's very easy to get caught up in that little small town drama, bickering back and forth with the same people and whatnot. So that just does not interest me in the slightest. So that one that got away, I realized like, yeah, it really eased my mind to realize that just wouldn't have worked. So that was the first woman I feel like got away, per se or whatever. But I mean, moving on, the next one was this was when I was not too long out of college, I want to say. Or actually, I might have been like 2 or 3 years out of college. I was already like working full time, the job I'm at now, and we met. Now this shows you how old this was, like how far back this was. We actually met on MySpace just randomly, and I think it's because we had some of the same friends or something. I don't know. And I don't even remember how we got started speaking. It may have been, I don't know if she like read one of my poems or what, because I did used to post poetry online. On MySpace and some other social networking sites and everything. And yeah, I can't remember 100% for sure how we got to talking, but once we started talking, we realized we knew some of the names, some of the same people, and that was cool and everything. And she didn't have up like a bunch of pictures of herself, but I remember the first picture she had up. I thought, she looks all right, she looks cute, whatever. And we talked enough to the point where we decided that we would meet and hang out. And when I saw her in person, I was like, wow, she looks way better in person. Like which, usually it's the other way around. You see a photograph of somebody and you're like, you're blown away, and then you see him in person and it's like, but yeah, she was just gorgeous in person, and we really clicked. It was sort of a short meeting. So I really didn't know completely how she felt about me. I mean, I was feeling her from the jump, but I didn't know how much she was feeling me. But we ended up hanging out somewhat regularly from there, and yeah, I mean, things went well. It was cool, but the big issue was she had a child from a previous relationship, which it was one of those situations where like she slowly kind of leaked out information, gave me more and more details. So I found out that this wasn't just a boyfriend that she had a child with. It turned out that she was actually married, and they were separated and supposedly working towards divorce. And it's like the more information that leaked out, the more I realized like this is going nowhere. And like it was to the point where even she didn't want to go out anywhere because she's worried about running into his friends and family. And I'm like, okay, if y'all aren't together, then why would that be a concern? So I just realized that, it's kind of funny. Like I would tell women all the time, because I write so much about relationships and I give advice to women, and I would tell them, don't waste your time with somebody that's married, claiming that they're separated and they're about to divorce, because I'm like, 9 times out of 10, you are just wasting your time. So I was like, I'm giving this advice to women. I'm not going to do that to myself, So I just realized that this wasn't, really going anywhere. I mean, I still, because I was so into her, I maintained a little bit of hope there. But then she ended up moving for a job. And, I mean, that pretty much was it there. I was like, her not really giving much of a heads up about it either kind of showed me how much she actually cared for me, which I guess wasn't that much in the grand scheme of things. So I was like, what, it is what it is. And I did actually end up in another relationship not long after that. But I did get back in contact with this woman like years later, and I just learned a lot more about her, and some things I like and some things I realize like that they don't work for me. Like I feel like even though she can earn, like she can work, like she can work multiple jobs and everything, and she really does have that mindset that she'll do what she needs to take care of herself and her kids and everything. She also kind of has the attitude where I think she would love to be spoiled. And I know some people are saying right away, who wouldn't want to be spoiled? Well, I wouldn't want to be spoiled necessarily, because I like to work. I like to earn. I mean, it's nice to get things sometimes, but when you're getting a lot of things from people, that can come with a lot of strings attached, and people can start to feel like that you always owe them, or that they have some ownership over you. So I don't think that's a good mentality to have. Basically, I would never put myself in a position where I'm not able to stand on my own. I don't think anybody, especially women, I don't think they should, anybody should ever put yourself in a position where you can't stand on your own, where you don't have your own money coming in, and everything like that. So that mentality to me is just, it's not cool. I just don't like that. And there's some other things too that I found to be like questionable. And I'll admit, a lot of it again was me kind of projecting my vision of what I thought she was onto her. But the more that I learned about her, I'm like, okay, well, things didn't work out, and I think that they didn't work out because they just weren't meant to work out, and it may have been best in the long run, So, and I feel like there's at least one more story I could say about the, supposedly the one that got away, but it's a very similar situation. I mean, the woman wasn't married, but it's a very similar situation. I mean, really, the point that I'm trying to get across to you all with these stories is that a lot of times when you feel like somebody got away, I think it is for a reason. It didn't work out for a reason. So it can be tough to deal with, but you got to realize that you're not missing out in the long run, because I really feel like if it was meant to happen, it would happen. And I'm not on that soulmates kick and all this and that or whatever, but I do feel like sometimes you are spared some heartbreak, basically. You're spared that, finding out that this person just is no good for you, basically. I mean, it happens. So if you have that feeling, you're still wondering about, if things could have worked with somebody, this and that, don't let that hold you back. Just move forward. That's what I would say. Really move forward, because, the women that I thought things could have happened with and it didn't work out, I just don't regret it. As a matter of fact, I will give you one more example. Let me give you one more example here. And again, not using names or anything, but, there's a woman I met, again, this was, I think this was like right at the end of my time in college, like right at the end. So this was before I met the other woman. And it's one of those situations that's tough to explain. I guess like why we never became a couple. I used to feel like the timing was never right. That's the way I used to feel. Because there was times when I was too focused maybe on work and school and everything, and maybe didn't give enough attention there. And then also either she was dating somebody or I was dating somebody over the years, and we would keep contact here and there. But yeah, so it just felt like the timing was never right. But more and more, and especially recently, I've realized it's not so much about the timing. It's just that she didn't want to be with me. I mean, she wanted to, I think she liked my attention. I think she did like maybe some of the conversation, and hanging out from time to time, but I just don't think that she really wanted a relationship with me, and I had to come to that realization. And I mean, that it's a very simple thing that you all got to understand, and that, I had to understand myself, that if somebody wants to be with you, they will work it out. They'll find a way. So somebody that's giving you excuses, especially for years, like, it's just not real. And I don't care what they try to say. I mean, they're obviously, stringing you along. And, and I allowed myself to be kind of strung along. And I wouldn't say that it wasted my time, because, I mean, like I said, I did continue to date other people and everything or whatever. And, we would just see each other from time to time, whatever it was. But, yeah, I just say don't allow yourself to be strung along. Don't let somebody waste your time, and don't let somebody give you excuses about why they can't be with you, because if they wanted to, they could work it out. That's all there is to it. And like I said, I'm almost relieved. I mean, when it's funny because I was like, when we started talking more and more, because actually for a while, like, I stopped talking to her just because I didn't like her attitude. I felt like she had a nasty attitude at times. I felt like she didn't respect me. And honestly, excuse me, honestly, I still feel like she doesn't respect me in certain ways, so, because she could get a nasty attitude at times, and I don't think that's just the way she is with anybody. I think she thinks because I've been so enamored with her in the past that she can do that and get away with it, but no, like, nobody, treats me like dirt. I just don't allow it. I don't care who it is, how much I care for them, nobody's going to walk all over me and treat me like dirt. I just don't allow that, so, and then, I mean, there's been times when I've been cold to her, and at one point even made her cry. And I have no regrets about that, because I'm like, you can't just talk to me any kind of way, and you can't, try to put all the blame on me about things not working out. Because like I said, if she wanted to be with me, she could have been with me. So, her trying to put all the blame on me is ridiculous, and also, and I know I'm sidetracking myself from where I was going with this, but I do want to say this as well. She pointed out two reasons why she felt like we couldn't be together. One of them she said was because I'm not as social as she likes to be, especially like going to family events and things like that. And I told her, I said, I've made a lot of efforts to be more social because I've dealt with like anxiety, and I think a lot of it was social anxiety, and I put in a lot of work to get through that. So for her to try to use that as an excuse, I said, don't you dare go there. I said, I've worked way too hard in recent years to get past some anxiety and to be more open and to go out and be around people. So I said, don't even come here with that nonsense. And she said, she did back off on that. But then she also said that, I mean, she's very involved in her church. And I wasn't raised in the church. I have faith, I pray and everything, but I'm not really a church goer, per se. And she said that's an issue for her. And I was like, okay, I understand that. In my eyes, from that point on, I was like, okay, no chance of it happening because I know what my beliefs are. Like like I said, I have faith, but I feel like religion and church is kind of a separate thing, and I don't even want to like completely take the time to break that down. But I just say I have my views on that, and I'm not going to change my views on that. I'm kind of hard headed when it comes to that, and I just feel that I'll just basically say this: when it comes to religion, in order to really follow it and in order to really be involved in the church, I feel like you have to ignore a lot of history, and I just can't do it. So once she said that was part of her reasoning why we couldn't be together, I'm like, okay, cool, I understand. We'll never be together then, and I'm fine with that. And in a lot of ways, it eased my mind, even though we did have kind of an ugly argument or whatever, and about why we never got together. It worked out best in the long run. And it's funny, a couple weeks ago, she contacted me, and I hadn't contacted her in a long time, and it's not like I was going out of my way to ignore her, but she contacted me, and I was like, it was weird. It's like I really had just forgotten about her. And maybe that sounds mean. I mean, I'm not meaning it to be mean. It's just that I really like got over her, because like I said, when you realize a lot more about a person, when you really learn them and you really look at them clearly, not projecting onto them what you think they are and what you think they could be. When you just look at some people for who they are, then it really can ease your mind. So yeah, I was like, man, I got over her like a cold. Like it was just, like it was quick. Once the realization happened, it was quick. So yeah, this is what I really want to just leave you all with. And I'm sorry for rambling so much, but yeah, if something does not work out, there's probably a reason for it. Don't let that keep you from moving on and maybe finding somebody that's a much better fit for you. Maybe not somebody that's perfect, because remember, nobody's perfect. There's always going to be issues. There's always going to be struggles. But, there's got to be some non-negotiables as well. Some things that you just can't deal with and that you shouldn't deal with. So, yeah, like just move on. Don't stress over the one that got away, because like I said, the one that got away probably got away for a reason. In fact, that might have been God looking out for you. Like, no, you don't need this person. And sometimes you may get into a relationship where things are very rough and they don't work out well. Like, I mean, my marriage was very rough, very stressful, but I learned so much from it. So I actually look at that almost like a blessing. Like I needed to learn the things that I did from my marriage. I really needed to learn all of that. So that situation to me worked out for the best in the long run. And obviously I'm glad it's over with. Like, I don't regret filing for divorce at all. Like, I'm really glad that that's over with. But I'm also grateful that I did learn so much from it. And that's why I think now I'm just keeping my eyes open a lot more. And currently right now, I think something else I've learned too is that you got to know timing as well, when the timing is right for you to even pursue a relationship. And for me personally, the timing is not right. I got so many other things that I need to focus on. I got to think about my future. That's why I say I'm working on my master's. I'm thinking about where my career is going and everything. So that's a lot more important to me than anything else right now. And I like YouTube as well. I enjoy doing this, and I want to keep this as a part of my life as well. And it can be time consuming, but I think it's worth it. So yeah, like I said, forgive me for all my rambling there, but I want to hear your thoughts about the one that got away. Have you had this experience? Do you feel like it was for the best, that it didn't work out? Please share with me down in the comments, and I'll make sure that I respond back. And I apologize. I know some people gave very thoughtful responses to I think my last video, and I may have not said a lot back, but I definitely read them all. And sometimes I think I didn't respond back just because I wanted to kind of process what people had to say. And then I think I did go back and put some comments. But sometimes I do need kind of time to process, what people are sharing, and then I may come back and comment on it. So, just be patient with me on that. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Look forward to your comments. I'll definitely reply. May not be right away, but I definitely will reply. And you all take care. Till next time.